Stamps-N-Lingers, and it's Saturday night, just after 7. I'm so glad to see you here, and I appreciate you spending part of your weekend with me. Let me just do a quick double checky here that I am live. I forgot to change over to landscape, so when I hit go live, it said, you've got to change the orientation. Okay. Now let me go ahead and do a little zoomy zoom there. There we go. Alrighty, let's see if that made a difference. Perfect. Okay. So here is the card that I gave you the sneak peek of this morning. For me, this says Christmas. This is a Christmas card like nobody's business. And I really love everything about it. I love the wood grain. I love the plaid. I love the foliage. I love the die cut sentiment. I love this entire card. And we get there by using the Joy of Noel bundle and the coordinating Joy or Christmas Classics bundle. Now, these are all in the same suite from the catalog, the mini catalog, the Joy of Christmas suite. And the Joy of Christmas gets its name from the DSP. So this wood grain in pecan pie. It's also got some gray granite in it, a piece that is gray granite wood. So you get that as well, but this is pecan pie. And then this wonderful plaid in cherry cobbler and real red. Hey, everybody. Yep, we didn't really watch the eclipse, but we saw it get darker than it ought to be at about 1 o'clock this afternoon. I think it was about then. And then this back here, this foiled paper is the Joyful Specialty paper. And you know, it's got a wood grain in it, but my favorite is the one with this, with these musical notes. So that is the card front. And then on the inside, we have Peace on Earth, which is from Christmas Classics, stamped with my favorite pine boughs. Yes, I know, Jenny. It would be hard for this to not be somebody's favorite set. Okay, so let's get started. You'll be glad to know that all of the directions will be, and card cuts and all the whatnots and where to fors and here to wonders and all those things will be on tomorrow's blog, so you can just watch and enjoy. And you'll also be glad to know I've done a lot of die cutting ahead of time. And there's another thing you're going to be really glad of too. We'll get to that in just a second. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our piece of pecan pie DSP from the Joy of Christmas set, and we're just going to adhere this to a piece of yeah, there you go. It was a little freaky. It was hard for us to tell here because it was kind of scattered clouds and breezy enough that the clouds kind of covered and came back and covered the sun and then left. And so there were times when I couldn't really tell if it was darker because of the clouds or because of the eclipse. So I don't know, but it was a little bit freaky. There's no doubt about that. All right, so pecan pie wood grain on Mossy Meadow. Perfect. And then here's some die cuts. Now, there's so many places to get rectangles, but I was working with a sketch, and as I went through my stash, the rectangle that worked the best for what I wanted was in the All That dies from the annual catalog. So don't forget about everything that you have in your tool chest. It's all fair game, right? Find a thing that works the best for what you're trying to do. So in this case, it was here. So that is what I used to cut out these 3 rectangles that I am going to adhere to a piece of Mossy Meadow cardstock. Now here's how, if I've measured correctly, this is how I adhere things when I'm trying to space them out. All right, so I have my 3 cuts, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere. The paper is Joy of Christmas from the new catalog, the mini catalog. All right, what I recommend that you do is adhere the top and the bottom, or if you're going horizontally, the left and the right edge pieces, and make your reveal, your normal reveal on your, okay, the 2 sides don't really matter. You're just going to make this normal, but make the reveal the same down here at the bottom, and then do the other end piece and do the same thing with your reveal. And you can even turn it around if that helps you. So you want to line up the edges, obviously, that way, and then you want this reveal to be the same as that reveal. And then for the third one, all you have to do is split the difference. Hey, Janice, I'm so glad you like it. Like I said, this to me, this is how a Christmas card needs to have. It just has all the things for me. Now we're just going to split this difference and make sure that that the distance here is the same and that our edges are straight as well. And there we go. All right. So now we can adhere this to our card front with our liquid glue. And I'm edging it over. I was working with the Try Stampin' on Tuesday challenge. And that's where this design came from. Okay. Now, my sentiment is the second next to largest of the stylish shapes squares. Don't have stylish shapes? Please get stylish shapes. Please get stylish shapes. You need it. I can't even begin to tell you how much you need it. Why am I missing an L? Am I missing an L? How can I be missing an L? That's not possible. Hang on a second. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. It is so not in here. What in the world? Okay, wait, let me look around my desk. I had everything nicely in my little cup. You know, I'm going to cut another L, and it's going to show up. As soon as I cut another L, it's going to show up. But it isn't showing up right now, so let me cut another L, which means I will cut another Noel. Oh gosh, I'm killing myself here with my own jokes. My own jokes are making me laugh, which is kind of sad actually if you think about it, if you have to laugh at your own jokes. So I'm just cutting this out over here on my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And of course I emptied the trash today or I would go dumpster diving. Alright, here we go. Whoop, whoop. Come here, L. This L does not want to get on here. It wants to be one. I guess it wants to be one. Okay, now we have an L. Phew! I know, Tara, it's crazy. I don't even understand it. All right, I want to give you a little tip. If you are not a musician, when you're playing with this musical paper, this is called a treble clef, and you want it to go that way. If it's going this way, that is not right. Not right. See how it's upside down? Now it's right side up. So put it on right side up. I'm just saying. And we're not going to spell lone, although we could, but we're not going to. Let's not do that. Now wait, see, I said that, and now I will do that. I will inadvertently do that, and then I'll be really bummed. I'll be so bummed. All right, so we're gonna just put Noel in the middle, and it's basically going back exactly the way that it die cut. Can you tell that this is a bad L? It's not a bad L, it's just not part of the group. It feels out of place. All right, so and this is just basic, very vanilla cardstock. I played with Mossy Meadow, but it kind of disappeared. And so I thought about a couple of different things. I stamped once. I stamped this image. I stamped in Old Olive on very vanilla and cut it out, and that got too busy because of the music. So the right answer was plain, beautiful, very vanilla. Very vanilla. Thanks, Trudy. I appreciate that. Okay, there we go. And uno más. There we go. I love this little die. I really do love this little die. Okay. So that's that. It can set for just a second. And I've got a couple of some foliage. From Joy of Noel, I have 2 pine boughs in Mossy Meadow. From the Christmas Classics dies, I have 2 Old Olive holly leaves and 3 of these leaves out of Distressed Gold. I love distressed gold. How many of you love distressed gold? I really think it's one of my favorite papers. It's nice and thin. It makes really pretty die cuts, and it's beautiful. It's not too shiny, not too unshiny, not too anti-shiny. Oh, well, hello, Ruth. I appreciate you joining, and I hope you enjoy the card. All right. Now, what I would do if I didn't already know where everything went is I would just play with it until I discovered that place that says, you know, aha. So basically, you're just going to start layering die cuts where you think they might go. Okay? And I know I need my sentiment, so I'm going to say, well, that looks good like that, but let's do a little turning here, a little picking up there, and I think I want this to go under that holly leaf, just because I don't like everything piled quite so homogeneously. I want it kind of mixed up, like it would be in a wreath or in a swag on your door. It wouldn't all be all piled up boughs and then all piled up holly leaves. You would have some, wait, there's a Chad. Hanging Chad, hanging Chad, hanging Chad. And then I think we should have one here. It's gonna look a whole lot like the one I did to start with. Weird. Hey, when your brain says aha, that's where it needs to be. And then that wants to tuck in there. So you can see, you just kind of keep playing with it without adhering anything until you find the place that your brain says, yep, that's it right there. And then for me, I take a picture of it with my phone. I know some of you like the press and seal method, but that has never worked for me. And it makes me get a little hyperventilating-y to even think about trying it, because I just haven't been able to make that work so well. And I have my phone, so why wouldn't I use my phone? Okay, so we're going to basically adhere just like this. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay, so I would take a picture of this and then I can take it apart. I can't take a picture now because obviously y'all are on my phone. Hello. But I'll just pick those up and then I can kind of put these back in place right where they are. Ish. It'll be okay. I have my sample off to the left. And we all know I can't ever mess anything up when I have my sample. Hello. If you were here for my last video, I put the wrong ribbon on the wrong card with my sample sitting right in front of me. Goodness. What in the world? What in the world? Now I'm just putting the glue down near the bottom of my bows. I don't necessarily want to have them just all flat and laying down flat. I don't like that. That's no good. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. And we'll put this over here like so. And then this little guy. This is a very simple card to make. The hardest part, and hard is the wrong word entirely. The correct word is most time-consuming part. You know what it is? It isn't so much, I don't see it being blurry, but I could get my card up in the middle of the, you know, in the middle of the screen where it belongs. I could do that. Good thing I looked over there, or I'd have done the whole thing in my lap. What a goober. Oh, what a goober you are, Mary. Uh-oh. Hanging Chad, hanging Chad, hanging Chad. Come here, hanging Chad. Okay. Phew, that was close. And then we'll put this last guy up here. Like so. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you the really most time-consuming one. All right? I took this silver threaded twine and I untwisted it. And I untwisted about 10 inches of it. Okay, it took a minute. And I had little fluffy bits of twine everywhere. So you will be glad to know that when you untwine it, you get like 7 strands of the twine and 1 strand of silver. So my sample got the silver strand. This one is going to get all whatever color, twine color. Okay, sorry. It's just the way it is. I'm not untwisting anymore right now. All right, now, is everybody going okay with the, Thea, were you able to get it fixed? I hope it's okay. And I'm sorry I was out of the screen for so long. What I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna take some Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm putting some, like 2 little lines of it. And to make this bow, I'm not gonna make an actual bow. I'm gonna make like a figure 8 bow, like so. Okay, so I've got it looking like that, and then I'm just gonna cross the beams here. And if anybody has ever seen Ghostbusters, you know what that means. So now I have what looks like a bow, but there's no thick knot, okay? And I'm going to adhere that right in place like that. Okay. And we'll just double check that we're still happy with where everything is. Oh, and I am so happy. Now, in order to adhere that, the nice thing about that is you don't get a big old thick knot right there that you have to get over. So what I'm gonna do, oh, I'm really sorry, Thea. I'm not real sure what the deal is. I'm really not. Go to the settings, click on quality, and click on highest setting. Did you see that from Rosie? Maybe that'll help. I'm going to put my dimensionals right on my card front, like that. And then pick off the covers. And hopefully we'll go straight. We should go straight and also right side up. Okay, so I started with those little bits, and now I'm just going to take and slide a few dimensionals underneath the edges. Oh, I'm sorry, Thea. Maybe if you're able to watch the replay, you'll be able to see it less blurry. I'm sorry. So I'm just taking my tweezers and taking a couple of my half dimensionals, and I don't want to catch my bow tails there. I'm going to stick those dimensionals under just to support it a little bit. All right, and that's going to have to be, that one looks like a stray hair sticking off. You ever pull your hair back and you got one sticking right up? That's what that looked like to me. Okay, so there is where we're at with the card front. What I like is, I wanted some red gems, and they happen to be right there in the sequins. This is the loose holly gems and sequins. So I'm just going to do this like this, okay? I'm going to put a little dab of liquid glue everywhere that I want a gem. And then I'll pick up one of the gems with my putty end of my Take Your Pick and stick it right down there on the glue. Like that. And there you go. Now, if you don't have these, you could also use a gold dot. That will not fit on there. It really is never going to fit on there. You could also use gold or, you know, anything you've got. So there's our card front. Now, on the inside, let me cover these. Oh, I'm thinking about the only thing worse than blowing Versamark powder everywhere would be sending that flying. Oh my goodness, that could be really bad. I am going to take some cherry cobbler. Oh, thank you, Kathy. I'm going to take some cherry cobbler, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment from Christmas Classics in cherry cobbler right in the middle. I have to pull this to me, guys. I'm sorry. Right in the middle of my very vanilla panel. And then I'm going to close this. No ink catastrophes here. And then in Old Olive that I'm going to stamp off once. So I'm going to ink it. Stamp it off once. Make sure I didn't pick up a dimensional cover. And then stamp over the top of the sentiment like that. So that's going to be that. Let me do my envelope because I'm just so efficient that way. I'm just so efficient. Oh my goodness. And then for the envelope, what I did is I inked the stamp. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take a risk here. I'm going to stamp 3 times without re-inking. But you got to remember that, well, I'll show you here. So I'm going to stamp once. And then I'm going to turn it, but I don't want to get this end. You see right in here? This end has full strength ink on it. So if I get that in there, it's going to look funny. So bring the stamp down a little bit, which also lets you get some illusion of depth. Okay, so there's stamp number 2. And then I'm going to do the same thing again, come down even further, and do stamp number 3 to get like that. And since I went too far over, this one's going to be a little different than my original. There, like that. There. All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. I know, and the plaid is just gorgeous. And speaking of, while I have this envelope right here, I'm going to put some more of the plaid Joy of Christmas on the flap. On the envelope flap. Righto, righto then. And do the world's easiest fussy cut. Thank you, Mary. Easiest, but I tell you what, it's always hard for me to not use that pecan pie paper that has the notes on it. I love that. And so I kind of have to work to not use it. It would be easy to use it on nearly every card, every Christmas card I make. Okay, that didn't come out so good. World's easiest fussy cut that I messed up. That'll be fine. Okay, so there's that. Let's go ahead and finish assembling our card. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. I know the pine sprig is my favorite ever. I don't know if I've told you the story. Anybody here old enough in Stampin' Up! To remember the Ornamental Pine stamp set? Ornamental Pine was the first Stampin' Up! Stamp set I ever owned. It was my favorite of all time. And I was struck to my heart when it retired. I miss Ornamental Pine. I mean, they've done a good job coming up with pines, but there's never been anything as gorgeous as Ornamental Pine, in my humble opinion. All right, so now, I know, Debbie, isn't it wonderful? I just love it. I made mine, my first one that I ever made. I embossed that image in white on a piece of, it was light purple. So think like Highland Heather, but a little lighter. And I did that, I embossed it in white on Highland Heather, and it was beautiful. And no, I didn't come up with that on my own. I saw a picture of it somewhere on Pinterest, which is what piqued my interest. Oh, I wonder if that's where Pinterest is. No, it's probably from pinning stuff. Okay, so we're just going to put this. This is a thick, very vanilla cardstock base. Cardstock base. I tried to say card base, and it didn't come out so perfect. All right. Well, Rocky, you are doing well. And I think it's good that you are getting busy with stamping. I think you will discover a lifelong love of this little hobby right here. Being able to create something and get it done inside of an hour is amazing. I know a lot of people who scrapbook, but that was a lot of time in relation to the amount of results that I got. So it frustrated me. I loved making the things, but I would get done with 2 hours of card making and scrapbooking, and have 2 pages done and 3 pictures, and still have a stack of 210 pictures left to do, and be thinking, oh my goodness, I'll never get done. Lovely as a Tree. Yes, that's a beautiful one. Oh wow, Jeannie, you've got a lot of stamps then. I would have to have another house if I didn't get rid of the things that were retired. All right, so there we go. This to me is the epitome of Christmas. This is Christmas on a card. I hope you love it. I hope you will make it. You've got 11. This is the 11th Saturday before Christmas. I'm just saying that means there's only 10 left, which really means 10 weeks. Okay, and you're going to have the big pushed with Thanksgiving. We've still got Halloween to get through, but like all the malls, all the big box stores, all the department stores, I'm bringing you Christmas early. I appreciate you guys spending part of your weekend with me. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you'll come back on Thursday for another card. It will probably not be Christmas, but I don't know what it'll be. All right, we'll see you guys. Thank you so much.